One of my favourite chapters in this little red and white book is chapter 1, and it's about me. It's a mistake that I made early on, and it was when I was first looking at going into property investing and property acquisition. In fact, I was in my very early 20s, and I reached out to a family friend who was not only experienced but in the industry and very trustworthy. I'd known Bruce for quite a number of years, and he was very generous with his time. He sat down with me and profiled what I was looking for, what kind of performance I was after, what sort of budget I wanted to work with, how well this property would work in with my lifestyle, because at the time I would have been moving into it. And Bruce was incredible with his knowledge and had cutouts waiting for me every week. That was back in the day before realestate.com. He would go through the local papers and cut out all the black and white ads. And this one particular day he was really excited and said, "I've got something that matches your budget." My budget at the time was $100,000. And Bruce had found a property that he was quite excited would produce some great outperformance capital growth. And I had a look at it. It was very, very close to the water. In fact, with one-story elevation, or we've had water views. It was in Seaford, and that wasn't a tough commute for me, because at the time I was working in the city and there was a train line there, and this particular block of land was very large. In fact, it was totally subdividable, and it had a house that was livable. And instead of embracing the idea and going for it, I didn't take Bruce's advice. I actually chatted to other people, including my dad, who's not a property developer or a property investor. And the advice that I got was to go for something smaller, newer, and less maintenance. And of course, the mistake that I made was I bought a property that delivered very limited capital growth, or at least not the same amount of capital growth that Bruce's selection would have. And in time, I would drive past this block and see that it was not only being subdivided, but I'd look at the sales results as well and kick myself for not listening to someone that I had already determined was trustworthy and knowledgeable. So the learning there for me was all about who I turn to for advice. Sometimes the people that love and care for us and protect us the most don't have the best advice when it comes to property investment.